Right, we're going to do the roast of Sean Strickland. This is my first one of these, and if I do any more, along with this one, there's just one rule. I'm only going to roast fighters I like. Otherwise, it just feels a bit bad taste and mean, even though they'll all beat the shit out of me. Having said that, I am going to go quite hard. So make sure you're wearing your big boy pants, sit down and enjoy. We'll start off light and warm up. Sean Strickland is like the GTA game designers started off to code a really badass character, but then they got bored and forgot to code the personality. The thing you notice the most when studying Sean Strickland is that there's two Stricklands, what he says and what he does. An example of this is that his social media game and fighting game could not be more opposite. For MMA, he trains like a madman, he's always in the gym and he spars hard. And then he goes in there for the actual fight and point fights with a jab and a teep kick. Versus Twitter, he spent a total of 4 minutes in his entire life learning how to read and write. But then he goes on social media and he goes harder than Chimaev in the first fucking round. The contrast continues. Sean pulls a gun on some kids playing ding dong ditch outside his house because he's such a nutcase. But then he refuses to fight when he's in an octagon being paid to fight. It's not all his fault though. He's the only guy in the UFC who could win a fight and still leave the cage with more mental damage than the guy that lost. The poor guy's got so much trauma. I think a good addition to his corner would be Jerry fucking Springer. Sean Strickland is the answer to the question, why does the rest of the world hate America? Did I mention he's really edgy? It's really cool. Strickland fights like he's got something to prove. Sadly, the thing he's trying to prove is that he's a boring fighter. He takes the piss out of Izzy for loving his dog, albeit a little bit too much. But then he turns around and gets himself a puppy. He falls in love with it and then posts more pictures of it on social media than a bored boomer auntie on Facebook. He joked about an MMA fighter getting hit by a bus and dying. Buses famous for two coming at the same time, which is reminiscent of Alex and Strickland spit roasting Nina Drama in front of her boyfriend. Sean gets upset by Drickus' mean words and goes on a podcast saying some things are just not okay. He declares that wives and children are off the table. And then a couple of beats later, on the same fucking podcast, he then proceeds to ridicule Ian Gary's wife and his family for 30 minutes straight. You can't talk more shit than Conor McGregor on a sesh, and then decide that it's not nice if people say mean things. He's a bigger snowflake than Mr. Frosty. This shit's enough to make you want to join Team Pat Barry. Oh no, wait, I'm too old. Any man that makes gay jokes as much as Sean does is definitely not gay. Definitely. Every now and again, Sean will jump on Twitter and remind us all that sometimes he can be deep. Although the only thing that's deep about Sean is how far closeted he is. The dude thinks about gay dudes. More than gay dudes. The only straight thing about Strickland is how he stands when he fights. Just to be safe, if you're ever face to face with Sean Strickland, just make sure it's inside the cage. Otherwise you might get hurt. You never know if he's fighting to win or just fighting the voices in his head. Sean's fighting style is like his personality. Awkward, annoying, and only works if the opponent is too stunned to respond. Which is also like his trash talk. Repetitive and mostly ineffective. A lot thrown, but no one's really getting hurt. Sean says he's ready to die in the cage. But judging by his fighting style, it looks like he's just gonna die of fucking boredom. So there you go. I can now officially not enter America. Before you get all angry in the comments, this is just fun and games. Strickland is, in fact, a great addition to the UFC roster, and I'm nearly always rooting for him. Let me know if you want to see any more of these and who you'd want me to do. And if you like this video, give us a sub, check out this playlist of recent bangers. See you next time.